I was deeply, shaken with your book, Seven Code of Karma. And that's one of the ways why I'm raising this is because, after this session, if I have to connect to what you're really talking about, I think that's your book, the second Seven Code of Karma. Help us understand what is this book about, and I think there has to be a protocol while we read that book as well, because it's spiritually very, very evolved. The meanings are very, very profound and deep in that book. So just help us sail through that as well, Susie.
Okay, so Shruti, I would say that that book is a roadmap for anybody at any age. It has been designed in a very layered pattern, and which is why it took me a really long time to write it, 4 years. Just like the Disney films are designed in a layered fashion, so a young child can see it and an adult can see it, and they'll pull different meanings out of it. Similarly, this book, you can read it intermittently and year 1 or year 3 or year 4, and you will pick different meanings from it. And I've had a lot of readers who've actually come back and said exactly that to me. It's impossible to actually capture that book in a talk show. I have briefly tried to discuss that in another webinar, and I have a video on my YouTube channel which can be watched. And that is a reinterpretation, a contemporary reinterpretation of what the codes are. To really understand the essence of the codes, I think you have to read the book. But what I did want to share today is specifically, if I were to reinterpret these 7 karma codes for women, what would they look like? And I will talk very, very briefly because I know we are running out of time, but I'll address that. So the first karma code is about the karma of waking up, or the karma, it's called the Suvasana code. And I think for women, it is for us, each one of us, to wake up to our feminine power. We can do that by not undermining ourselves. And which is why the focus of today's conversation, I have taken the trouble to do that research, and I have gone into a lot of detail for this reason, so we understand what ways we undermine ourselves in. So can we take this on? The first step, the first karma is women should stop undermining themselves. The second karma is the karma of surrendering your suffering. It's the Homa code. And for women, that really means that we have a sacrificing mentality. Can we please stop sacrificing ourselves? The third is the karma of finding and spreading joy through our talents. That is Swadharma code. And I'm suggesting, please have a purpose beyond marriage and children. You must find your own soul purpose. You must find your own talents. You must nurture yourself very, very deeply. Invest in yourself. If you haven't done that in your first bloom, which is your prime years, your 20s and 30s, please do it in the second bloom. You have a second opportunity post-menopause, please do it then. The fourth is the karma of redemption and learning in relationships, which is the Anubhava code. And here I suggest that women stop being the underdog in their relationships. Build your own self-reliance, build your own confidence, build stronger boundaries, learn to say no, ask people to help you, and be more than your roles. Those intertwining circles I spoke about, never lose sight of the center, that is me. You must constantly find yourself every single day. What have I done to fulfill myself today? Never lose sight of that central me. The fifth is the karma of building empathy through generosity. And this is the Dana code. And here I think what Lean In is doing is totally aligned with what I believe we should do, which is women empower women. And what do I mean by that? I mean, can we give our listening to women every single day? You know, there's this feeling that we are not understood by men. Earlier, we had the kitchen fires burning, and we had this whole fraternity gathering in the kitchen, and women sharing their deepest pains and troubles with other women. we don't have that system anymore because we're not living in those very large families. It's very important that women reach out to women, find the space and the trust to be able to share their burdens and listen very deeply to other women. It's also equally important for us women to raise our daughters in a very liberated way. Can you give them physical liberties? Can you give them emotional and psychological liberties? Can you be generous with your daughters? Can you talk about anything under the sun very openly with your daughters? Because that liberality is very important, because we are then teaching them in many ways that they are equal and they are free to pursue their dreams, and that you will always have their back. The sixth is the karma of belonging, or the Sangha code. And this one is a very, very subtle one. I believe here we need to dissolve gender separation. Instead of seeing ourselves as men and women, seeing ourselves as the weaker gender, can we identify our own masculine and feminine within ourselves? A lot of women are very undermined in their masculine energy, and they have very well-defined and nourished feminine aspects. So they'll be very good creatively or intuitively, or they know how to bring the energies inside, but we hesitate to bring our energies outward. So can we try and balance these two so that we become whole within? And we feel more ready to embrace the world, to bring our talents to the world, and we can be more active in the world outside without losing our feminine essence. So carry your feminine and your masculine together. And the last one is the karma of our highest intention. And this one, I feel very strongly, can we stop perpetuating patriarchy? I don't think it's the men who perpetuate it as much as we perpetuating it, because we believe in it. I don't think we need to fight men. I think we need to partner with them. We need to collaborate with them. And we can only do that if we stop being the Sita, if we stop being the shadow. So, which really means that can we start looking for new role models in our lives? Because, whenever we take something away, we have to fill it with something. So if I'm going to take these cultural symbols away, what do I fill these cultural symbols with? And therefore the search for new role models. And I would urge all of you women to actually think about it deeply and suggest what are these role models we can embody.